All right, Cowboy Nation, man, we live back at it again, podcast style. We've got my boy Jerry over here. We're gonna talk a little bit about Tony Romo, man. Well, what he had to say about Dak Prescott?
Well, he just kind of pointed out.
Oh, my bad. Oh, go ahead and plug your joint, man. Your barbecue deal.
Okay. Hey, it's your boy Jay Reese with Oak Smoke Barbecue. If you want some of the traditional Texas style barbecue, give me a call at 469-810-0711.
Yes, that's for real, man. That's what I'm talking about. So we was talking a little bit off the podcast about the interview process. Tony Romo. Now, he ain't gonna bite the bait and talk negative, but in reality, he's speaking the truth, man. So let me know how you feel about Tony Romo on Dak Prescott.
Well, one thing I like about Tony Romo as an analyst and as a color commentator, when he speaks, he's honest and he's entertaining, and he's always bringing some type of information. One of the things he pointed out, some people say it's a slight to Jason Garrett, but I think it's more of a praise to Bill Belichick.
Right.
And he said after studying football for over 15 years and being able to learn something new, he's impressed. And he's impressed with Bill Belichick because every time he comes around him, he learns something. And he talks about Bill Belichick's process of taking what every team does best away from them, and they do it differently every single time. So, and it kind of points out to the way it's hard for teams to be able to compete against the Patriots because they show you something different every time, so you can't get an identity. Because with the Cowboys, we're doing slants and goes, and the hitch routes,
and comebacks,
and people are able to call out our plays when we line up.
Yeah. And then what he was talking about is that what Bill Belichick does, and in the interview, you guys are going to hear it. I'm going to try to do a recap later on tonight. He was saying that Bill Belichick may pick out a guy that's going to shoot the B gap, but the next time they play, he's going to be playing the C, you see. So with that being said, what Bill Belichick does is also, he not just take out the inside slot receiver, he going to take out the inside run. So that means that Bill Belichick, he's not just going to study your strengths, he's going to actually execute on your weaknesses. So, and then he's going to throw you a new wrinkle. And Tony Romo, he was saying man, just being around Bill Belichick, doing his scouting report, because I guess when you're a broadcaster, you got to sit and do interviews with the coaches and these sorts of things. He was saying, man, in all of my years of just being around the craft, I learned more just being in the mix with Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. And also, if you really think about it, that also devalues a little bit what Tom Brady can do. And I'm not trying to say Tom Brady is trash, but it just speaks the volumes of brilliancy that Bill Belichick brings to the table.
Well, and he kind of talked about some offenses, like the timing of the offenses. So the importance of footwork. Because some of the best quarterbacks in the league, like Patrick Mahomes, footwork is not like anybody else's footwork you ever seen. He spoke on Brett Favre. Sometimes his body, he's breaking the cardinal rule of quarterbacks throwing off that back foot. Or he's falling down while he's throwing. Aaron Rodgers, his offensive linemen say that it's kind of hard to block for him because the way his footwork is, and he doesn't do the traditional quarterback stuff. He does those little pity pats. And he said with him, or the type of offense that the Cowboys got, is not really about the footwork. It's more about the angle and the release of the hand, and the hand dictates the footwork. And so Romo was one of those quarterbacks that was better when the play broke down.
Good, for sure.
All those bums he threw to T.O. early in his career, when the play broke down, he was at his best. Another quarterback, Russell Wilson, if he's in the pocket, he missed the throws, but you look at his accuracy once the play breaks down, or when.
All right, we back at it. We're just going to add this on to the extra episode. We was talking about a little bit before we got that call, the footworks and the mechanics. And sometimes, quarterbacks just have different throwing platforms. You might look at a Russell Wilson. Although he's a top-tier quarterback, his throwing angle and his platform is a whole lot different from Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers was different from Peyton Manning, for crying out loud. But at the end of the day, can you get the job done, basically? And I think Tony Romo was talking and factors in that too, right?
Exactly. And and especially in the NFL, because like you rarely have 4 or 5 seconds to stay back there and hold on to the ball. So once the play break down, when you got a defensive end that's on your tail, you ain't gonna be able to plant those feet and adjust and make sure the feet is pointing at your receiver.
Correct.
And unload that ball. So being able to throw from different platforms, and we're gonna see something different. Like take a look at Kyler Murray. He's a rookie this year, but I look at some of his footwork coming out of Oklahoma, and the league is starting to switch away from those traditional stand in the pocket type of quarterbacks. I thought we saw a trend in the early 2000s with the Michael Vicks and everything, and then the Cam Newtons. But now it's going to be a rarity where we see those quarterbacks like the guy that was in Baltimore that just left.
I know who you're talking about.
Flacco. Or Matt Ryan that stands in the pocket and deliver. I mean, we ain't gonna see too many more Peyton Mannings. Even Luck is not even Luck gets outside the pocket to run.
True that.
Though he's shown that he can't take the punishment. So. But just keep an eye out and look at these guys' throwing motions, and then try to find things
that can just marry together.
Yes.
Another thing is, and I know we press you for time, but another thing that we want to talk about, I guess, if you get a chance to hear what Tony Romo had to say about Kellen Moore, did you get a chance to hear that the fact that he was talking about that offenses and defenses are so complex now in the NFL, there's so much game tape, there's so much data. But he was saying that, like, hey, sometimes when you throw a new wrinkle out there, there's not enough study film to sit there and say, okay, this is what we're going to do to shut down this particular side of the offense, or this is what we're going to do to shut down this side of the defense. Tony Romo is on record saying that, hey, I just like the fact that when they're going to bring in Kellen Moore, it's going to be something different, something new. What are your feelings about that?
Well, I think that's good because and he was being honest, because you got to look at the first year we got Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Teams couldn't stop us, even though there was a lot of coordinators on record saying the offense is simple, anybody could run it, but nobody was able to stop us that year. Then you come around to the second year and the third year in the NFL, they say, okay, Dak Prescott's limitations are this. So they knew he had problems when he was throwing across field or he was throwing to his right. So what they do is they start rolling more of the coverage to his left side to where he liked to go to with the ball, and it kind of hurt the team. And honestly, I mean, I'm just speaking personally. I honestly think that Dak Prescott shortcomings kind of shortened Dez Bryant's tenure with the team.
True. We can go back and forth. It's not semantics, because the thing is, you're right. You take a developmental quarterback who's supposed to be able to sit on the bench to grow and develop his craft, and you throw him in the fire, he does well his first year, and now everybody wants the same results the second and third, but it's not going to happen. Because now teams are now studying, they can take away your strengths, and they can try to maximize your weaknesses and say, okay, can he beat us on the one-on-ones? Can we put 8, 9 men in the box? Is he going to consistently beat us with the deep seam routes? Do you have a wide receiver on this team that can get separations? Do you have a wide receiver on this team that can catch that tight window pass? Can Dak Prescott make those passes? So there was so many things if you add into one. And then, of course, I'm not going to use this as a scapegoat, but Roger Goodell had his toe in the water with the suspension. And you take away the quarterback's second best friend, which is the running back, man, you're gonna see some, I guess, less growth. And then, let's be real. Dak Prescott is not a natural thrower of the ball. And his offense, to be honest with you, his offense is so bland. Have you ever eat rice and gravy with no sugar, no salt? Well, y'all put sugar on my rice and gravy, but have you ever ate it without salt and pepper?
You probably put sugar on your grits too, huh?
No, I'm team grits with salt and pepper. I don't know why.
And
I said it
a
right.
little bit of cheese too, man.
Yeah,
Man, I just got back to New Orleans. Have you ever had cheese grits or grits and shrimp? Oh,
Man,
my
yes, man.
Hey.
Shoot, I'm from the South, baby.
Hey, man. Okay, and another thing, they ESPN put out a features ranking. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't get a chance to see that.
Okay, check this out. The Cowboys were not. The Cowboys were not rated in the top 10. Now, their front office was ranked number 8. Their roster was ranked number 4.
That's some good stuff. That's some deep stuff.
Quarterback was ranked number 15, which I think that's where Dak Prescott is at, because he's in the middle of the pack type of guy. He's not going to do anything to cause you any gains, but he's not necessarily going to be able to put the team on your shoulders. But they ranked our coaching at 31.
Dang.
Second worst coaching in the league behind Adam Gase up there with the New York Jets.
Boy, they're going to be eating a lot of crow.
And the reason for that is they believe that the Cowboys are up for a big coaching overhaul in the very near future. So the things that we're doing with our offense are the things that we're doing in the draft, because they rank us as the number 7 best drafting team. Our front office is at number 8.
Wow.
What gave our front office that bump? Because I think a couple of years ago, everybody would say Jerry Jones' hands is in the pot. But over the past couple of years, instead of us drafting for those wild players, we bring in a Leighton Vander Esch, where everybody like, what? We should have got the wide receiver, the big wide receiver that went to Denver. And
or the kid that went to the Atlanta Falcons. Calvin Ridley, that's his name.
And traditionally the Cowboys have a tendency to hold on players way too long, and with them being willing to part ways with Dez Bryant and let other players walk, kind of show that the Cowboys are actually moving in the right direction as far as building a team. So roster minus quarterback, we're ranked at number 4 in the league. Quarterback, we have the number 15th ranked quarterback. Coaching is 31. So
is that collective coaching on the defensive side of the ball and offense, or is it just the head coach?
Well, reading the article, it kind of made it seem like it was heavy on Jason Garrett, and not because they believe that Jason Garrett is a bad coach. They just believe that his tenure here in Dallas will be very short. So this is a 2019 future power ranking, so it's looking at the future of the team.
But I think they left out so many intangibles with coaching. Of course, we know that Coach Red, he's not the guy that's going to create things that's like, wow, this is amazing. But I have yet to see the team. I have yet to see Coach Red lose the team, basically. And people would be willing to run through a brick wall for Coach Red. Now, and then on top of that, if you add into the aspect of what the defensive side of the ball, that side of the tree of coaching, look, you can say whatever you want, but Chris Richard got those boys ready, and Papa Rob Marinelli got that front 4 nasty. I just don't see 31 other coaches better than Coach Red at this point, even into the future.
I want to say halfway through the year last year, they had where there was a agent that reported that he had a couple of players on the team, reported that one of his players said this was the worst coach team he's ever been a part of, and that was before we got Amari Cooper and the season started to turn around.
Right.
And I want to say that kind of shows Garrett's perseverance and how he is as a coach. I thought after they made the playoffs last year and actually won a playoff game that he would have easily got that contract, especially how the year started off. Because I mean, hey, I was to the point where I was mad as hell. I was like, man, I bought tickets to the Thanksgiving game, and the way we playing, I feel like I just wasted money.
Need a refund,
but the way he turned that season around, it shows that he got under control. But I mean, it's easy to say that you didn't lose the team while we're winning, but I would like to have seen. But I wouldn't have liked to see it because I'm a Cowboys fan. But I have a feeling if we would have missed the playoffs, you would have had a lot more people saying things where, because kind of look at this. How many former Cowboys players actually give praise to Jason Garrett?
Not many.
Because remember DeMarcus Ware had an interview on 103.5. At 105.3.
Yeah, 105.3, the fan. Shout out to him.
A few months ago, and he said that it was actually during the season where he said Garrett was not an X's and O's guys. He was like, we line up and do what we do, and they do what they do. Whoever wins, wins. And that's the reason why he's traditionally, or he's usually 8-8 coach. And in order to win those extra games, you have to do some Bill Belichick type things, which Tony Romo gave him high praise, and put some X's and O's to strategize.
Well, this is the thing. I'm not saying that Jason Garrett can walk on water. Neither are you. He's not going to be the guy that's going to part the Red Sea, for crying out loud. He have a red head, but that's a different story. My thing is, I don't see how he can be 31st, though. I can see them, just like they put Dak Prescott in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I think that Jason Garrett still should belong somewhere in the middle. You just can't put him at 31st. I'm sorry. I just don't see that Coach Gruden, although he got a Super Bowl ring, I don't see that Coach Gruden is going to turn his team around, and it's just going to be something just so much far superior than what Jason Garrett has been doing. As it could be a story of a different day. Hell, this season haven't started yet. We might see the Raiders go, 13-3. But in my opinion, I don't see that happening. But it's been nice talking to you, man. Always a pleasure dropping some facts down and then bringing the information for the nation. What was that website again?
It's ESPN.com. NFL future power rankings, projections for all 32 teams for the next 3 years.
I'm going to try to drop that link down below so you guys can take a real good look at it. And then on top of that, we just gonna have to see how this season play out, man. Jay, tell them where they can find you at again, man. Tell them about that barbecue.
Hey, you can find me at Oak Smoke Barbecue. Give me a call. We cater big parties, small parties, anything. 469-810-0711.
Yes, indeed. Cowboy Nation, you guys been rocking with Law Nation and Jay. Hey, we just putting the facts out there, and we just trying to give you guys the information to help grow the nation, man, whether it be on the intellectual side, knowing football, listening to what Tony Romo had to say, and then on top of that, how Kellen Moore is going to be able to turn this thing around. Hopefully he can. That's all we can think about, right? This team being better, stronger, faster, more physical, and all those things all added all into one. That's been our time. I really appreciate and thank you all for yours. And remember, you all are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. We're out. Peace.